Everyone in leadership does have, it's called an imposter syndrome, where you've been put in a position maybe you feel you're not capable of, but people around you are seeing your capabilities. So you don't want to disappoint them, but also it's accepting that you can also make mistakes in that role that you're in. Yeah. As I mentioned, I've been a leader ever since I was young, and it's not like it was magic, boom, you're a leader. I had to learn through that process of there are mistakes, there are challenges. What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do next when it happens? It's a process. And if people who are around you are seeing your leadership qualities, then it means there's something in you that you need to bring out. Not only for yourself, for your team, or for the environment, for everyone who is around you. If it's in family, it's in the workplace, it's even in spaces where you're with your friends and your friends pick you, they say, we want you to do this. There's something they've seen in you, not something that you've decided it's you by you yourself.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Before 18. Before 18 is a show that focuses on children who do spectacular things in the society and adults who impact the lives of children. My name is 𝗣𝗂𝗿𝗍𝗲. I will be your host for today, and today I have an amazing guest, and I will let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone. So my name is Catherine. I'm the CEO and head of partnerships at MtotoNews, where we work with children and for children.
Welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Yeah, now I was just thinking, do you have this memory, this vivid memory of you when you were young that you can relate to when you knew that inside of you have a passion of working with children or working in the media space around that?
Working with children, yes. When I was young, I've always been, I think I had a tough childhood, so I've always wanted to advocate for children, not to necessarily go through what I went through. It wasn't as tough, but just having a voice to be able to speak for myself. No, not really. Media space, I actually studied for finance. I wanted to be an accountant somewhere in an office, closed office, kuna story mob. We're just dealing with money, end month, and just bills and petty cash, but God had other plans. So when I finished school, I got into media space, and ever since I've been in the media industry.
Amazing, and I really love your story. She has an amazing story, and we're going to hear it today. So, as a young girl, did you find yourself probably naturally just caring, or did you have a point where you wanted to stand out and advocate? Probably you saw someone being mistreated, or there was something that you saw that might have sparked you. Doing whatever that you do, especially in the children space.
Sure. When we were growing up and I would see another child getting mistreated, I'll go and speak on their behalf, even though I was also a child.
Yeah.
So nenda namtetea alafu tunapigwa wawili, or I get the backlash myself, and it wasn't my fault in the beginning. So yeah, I've always been there to fight for people who cannot speak for themselves. For me, I usually take it like it's a personal thing. Again, I'm an empath, so I usually take people, when people are going through something, I take it to heart. Like I feel like I have to do something about it. Leadership, no. From ever since I was young, I've been a leader, but it's not something that I wanted to do. I've always escaped it, tried to maneuver behind it, trying to be behind the scenes, but I think, as I say, people usually say God had other plans. I've always been pushed at the forefront, though I've always tried to be at the back, and hence I am here now.
Amazing, and we are happy that you are part of the leadership of MtotoNews and taking us far. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I also wanted to ask, as you're growing up, what role did probably your school, or you've said your environment now that you grew up it had, so what about your school? Did you find yourself in leadership positions? Probably there are children who are watching and they're saying, I don't really know if I should stand for president or the school captain. Is there any leadership role that you got that you can really account for, and probably something that you learned from those early experiences?
Yeah, ever since when I was young. Is it nursery?
Yeah.
I don't know what now it's called. Nursery though. I've always been I was a class prefect. And then in primary I became a class prefect. From class 6. And then in high school I was a class prefect. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4 I was the entertainment captain. So I've always been in these leadership roles. For me it's not something that I wanted, but it's something that I've been pushed into. And for me I always accept a challenge based on the fact that if you don't try it, you'll never know if you can be able to do it or not. Even in university I played some role in leadership. In the different spaces that I've worked in. I believe maybe there's something in me that God has made me to stand out, and I usually take my roles very, very serious in terms of what I'm doing, serious in terms of executing what I'm supposed to do, because I'm very goal oriented, but also making sure that I'm making an impact at the same time. So it's not something that I've wanted, something that I've been pushed into, and I've asked God for wisdom in all those areas that I've been able to participate.
So you get to school and you're through, and you're through, and then can you tell us a bit probably about your first job, and as you're starting your career, and how it was?
So I got my first job when I was in uni. That in the 4th year, when you're told to go and do internship, is it internship? So that the lecturer can come and see you. Actually, no. I got my first job when I was in 3rd year. I was looking for work because I felt I had enough time, though I didn't have enough time because I did my uni. There were no breaks. I did a crash course program. So I got a part-time job where I used to work during the weekend, Saturday and Sundays, and also during holidays. So my schedule was very busy. And then in the 4th year in uni, I did my internship at NHIF. So I was doing internship during the morning. In the evening I go for class, and then Saturday and Sunday I go for my part-time job. I did this for 2 years. For 2 years, and for me I felt like it was a challenge. I was getting empowered, but I was also learning how to maneuver in just doing things by yourself. Being able to understand, you know what, you can be able to handle this schedule and still perform well at school. So I really enjoyed it. I was really, really busy. Like I had no life. When I'm not busy, I am studying or I'm doing an assignment. And when I'm sleeping, like even sleeping was, I used to sleep like 4 hours, I'm 5 hours a day. But I really miss those days, funny enough.
And that's amazing. And as you're talking, it's very evident that you have sacrificed. When you talk about the way you're juggling between school and work, what is that that you would love to tell the children that are watching?
It is possible, as long as you plan yourself well. Purpose. Have purpose. If you purpose it yourself and you know in your mind that you want to do it, nothing is impossible. When I started off, for sure I knew I could not be able to do it. But then I decided, let me try it out. And by the time I was graduating, I was like, oh, I managed to do my internship and do my part-time job and still go to school and do my assignments. So it's possible. Just purpose, be goal-oriented, be focused, put God first in everything that you do. Because sometimes we want to do things by our own will, but if we let God guide us, eventually things always work out.
That's amazing. And now we want to get down to the part now where you become the CEO of MtotoNews. Probably you can tell us your first encounter with MtotoNews, or you can just now try to document your whole journey at MtotoNews to now being the CEO.
Sure. Where I used to work, I was doing production coordination for the entire organization, and and my boss challenged me to do sales. I literally had told her I do not want to do sales. I don't know how to do sales, but she was like, try it out. And by the time it was the 4th month, I was even shocked by myself that I'm doing sales. So that is something very different for me, because it got me out of my comfort zone of wanting to be in a small office where I'm not interacting with people, to networking and interacting with people. So when I got here, I started as head of production, and I had a conversation with Jennifer, the founder, and she has this big vision from MtotoNews. And there's some things that she saw that needed to be changed or to be updated, or she just had this vision. And for me to come on board was to execute her vision. So when I started off, there were some things that she told me. She called me for a meeting. We had a conversation. Again, I like challenges. I was like, challenge accepted. 1 year in, production was alive, kicking, things were moving, consistency. The team has been doing an amazing job ever since. And then again, she called me for another meeting. She's like, okay, you've done this, now I want to give you a bigger role. I want you to be the deputy CEO and head of, and no, I was doing production and market, sales and marketing. And then she was like, okay, you accepted the challenge, you've done it well, I want you to give you a bigger role. So deputy CEO and head of partnerships. I told her, sure, bet. Challenge accepted. Again, I started doing things, we discussed, she gave me her vision, I executed her vision. The thing about being a leader and having a leader on top of you or guiding you is, once she tells you what she wants or how she sees the organization that the way she wants it to go, it's you to align, to see if you can align on what she wants, and also to purpose and put God first, as I said. So when she gave me that role, I was like, I'm not sure, but then I went and prayed, and I was like, okay, let me try it out, and we'll see how it works. Again, execution, I did my best. Everything has been so far so good. Amazing children, amazing team. We are doing amazing work. We are making impact everywhere. So yeah, it went really well. Again, she called me for another meeting. She's like, okay, now I want you to step up. I want you to be CEO. This is based on also she had gotten sick the beginning of the year, and she did not want things to just stop because she's not there. So she gave me a challenge. She said, I've seen what you've been capable of doing. This is what I want you to do. You know my vision. You know what I'm about. You know where you have seen, and you know where I want this organization to go. So this is the role that I want you to take up. At first I was like, yo, yeah. But then again, I went and prayed. God told me, step up. So far so good. Amazing team. We are doing an amazing job. Yes, she's back. She's feeling much better, and now we're executing her vision together with the entire team, and making impact for these children, and making sure that these children are engaged. And I wish we had that when we were growing up, that we had someone who could speak on behalf of children, tell us, you know what, you guys also have a voice. We never had that. And now that these children have been given a voice, we are making impact everywhere. Guys, even parents who are seeing their children changing and becoming vocal and be able to speak for themselves, they are shocked, they're amazed. And I can't wait to see what the leadership of the country will be when these children grow up, because clearly it's already started taking their leadership roles.
And has there been a point where you've felt a very strong feeling of fulfillment, that you look at something and you feel, I'm proud to be part and the CEO of MtotoNews, and to be the head of partnerships, and I'm so happy of the role, and something like that? Yeah, sure.
This is what I believe in life. And I usually tell everyone in the team when you have meetings, is everywhere you've been placed on an assignment by God. And the fulfillment part of it is once you see you are fulfilling the assignment that you've been given, in whichever aspect, whether small or big. So for me, the fact that I remember the first event I was given to do was the EdTech Pre-Summit. And I was like, oh goodness, where am I starting? But I had the backup of the team, and seeing the impact of children reading the outcome statement to the adults in the main summit, for me, I felt like crying. I was like, this is actually what the children are doing. This is what we started. Like now it's starting to become a movement, and children are actually saying, thank you for giving us a chance to speak on matters that are affecting us. For me, it has been mind-blowing. And also seeing children when they close school come into this place, and being comfortable enough to move around, to brainstorm ideas, to sit down, to just be themselves and not cower or be afraid, having that having the strength, having the courage to speak for themselves, not having fear. Every day for me, I think it's a blessing for everyone who works here. Yeah.
Amazing. And touching on the EdTech Summit, we have been really seeing you very big, especially on events, from organizing to execution. Just share a bit of the wisdom that you have, especially when it comes to events. And you can mention some of the events. Some of them have been here in the country, others have been outside the country. Just share a bit on the events.
Yeah, so there has been the African Children's Summit, which Brand is lead on. There's the EdTech Pre-Summit, which are actually planning. 𝗣𝘂𝗿𝗿 last year, and then we had the opportunity to go to South Africa and Paris for the Global AI Village Summit in Paris, and then in Rwanda, just planning and these events. What I can tell people, because people usually think that they see us planning events and they think we are, yes, we are conversant in planning, but no one knows what to do. It's a process of learning as well, and refining what we are doing to make it even better for the next event and the next event and the next event, and also getting children's perspectives on how they would like the events to be, because again, we are planning, but these are their events. Because again, MtotoNews is very much child-led, so it's just also executing their ideas to making sure that they come to life, and they and also that whatever it's in their mind, they can actually see. It's very tangible. So the process has been, for me, it has been fulfilling. It has been awesome. It has been engaging. It has been eye-opening, because each event we get to learn what we missed and the gaps were in the other event, and what to do with these other events. And now we are global based on that. We are also learning from our mistakes and making sure that the next one is even better, and the next one is even better. Not for us as MtotoNews, but for the children, so that they can also be able to want to participate in even more and more events. And
then in the next 5 years, or in the next couple of years that are coming, where is that you would want MtotoNews to be, or where do you aspire is the vision in the next couple of years from MtotoNews?
If you would have asked me that last year, I would have said I would love to see MtotoNews going global. This year we've already gone global. For me, I would love this organization to continue to be a movement, to be in each and every country, where children, if adults leading, being at the forefront, but for the sake of children, that their voices are heard. Because what we are doing is we are changing the leadership of countries. As we are learning things when we are adults, but these children are learning when they are young, in terms of being leaders. So I'm looking at it from a point of, when they grow up, how will the leadership of the country be if they've already known how to advocate for their rights at this young age? And it's not only in Kenya, it's now we are going to different countries, not only in Africa, but also in the world. Then it means leadership all around the world will change, and it will impact also the children who will be growing up then. And just me being at an age where in 10 years I'd just be sitting and smiling and saying I had a part to play in that. Awesome. Amazing. I'm here for it.
Thank you so much. And I don't know, is there, now on a lighter note, is there a book or a movie or a quote that you'd love to, if it's a movie, you tell us you need to watch that movie. If it's a quote, you can tell us, or a book you'll recommend.
I have a quote. The quote is by 𝗣𝗂𝗿𝗿. Children take a stand for everything that is possible because they are still in touch with the place inside where everything is possible.
Amazing.
Children are innocent. They have not been tampered with. They have not been corrupted yet. And for them, nothing is impossible. And that's why when they give us these ideas, they are sharing ideas on how they want to be engaged based on the fact that they know nothing is impossible. So for us to play our role to ensure that whatever the vision that they have, we execute. So that's my favorite quote.
And so, Catherine, sometimes leadership can be a bit heavy. So probably after a tough day of work, when you go home, what is that you do, to relax, to free up a bit?
Definitely watching movies. Sleeping.
Yeah, very important.
Very important. Going to church.
Yeah.
Just having that break and some time with God, for me, it's calming. Yeah, and you get to know your next steps.
Yeah.
I can say going to church, but also just having that spiritual alignment with God. So just sitting and reading the Bible, for me, it's very important. Yeah, I don't know if singing in the bathroom is a hobby, but yeah, sure. It's my free time. Yeah.
It's your free space.
Yeah, it's my free space, And also just cleaning. I love just being in a space when I have free time. I do cleaning. That's my gym, if I can say that. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that's my take. My take home. Cleaning is a form of gym.
It's a form of gym, and
amazing.
It's free.
Yeah, and it's free,
you know.
That's truly amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, are there challenges that sometimes you face, especially, I think from when you were young, you were doing a lot of multitasking. You are still watching out for your life and still watching out for other people when they're being harassed or something like that, standing for them. Then when you go to school, you are now juggling between work and school again. And now that you're in leadership in the company, you're also doing all of this. Are there challenges that you face as you're doing all of this, and how are you able to overcome?
Challenges, yes. Because every day, maybe I should have started by saying, I'm the kind of person that once I learn something, I want to move on to something, the next thing. And I think that's what Jennifer picked from me. And that's why my roles have changed. Because once I've done what I'm supposed to do there, keep me moving. Keep me engaged. Challenge me. So for me, that's where the multitasking that I'm able to handle very well, it's based on that. Challenges, yes, because sometimes you want things to go your way, but again, it's teamwork. Everyone has their idea of how they want things to go. So it's sitting down with the team and agreeing on one thing. Leadership also sometimes a bit hard, because sometimes people are set on their ways. And you have to have that conversation with them and sit them down to be able to make them understand that their way is not necessarily the right way. Not saying that I'm perfect, but coming to a synergy where you can work well together. So yeah, challenges are there, but it's accepting that they are there and learning to do something about it, wanting to do something about it, so that you can move on to something else. Because if you wallow in the same place, that's stagnation, and you won't move on to your next agenda, what you're supposed to do next.
Amazing. And I don't know, have you had that point where you feel as if you don't have the enough capacity probably to lead, or you feel a bit inadequate? Have you had that point in your life or in leadership where you feel as if you don't have the capacity?
Everyone in leadership does have. It's called an imposter syndrome, where you've been put in a position maybe you feel you're not capable of, but people around you are seeing your capabilities. So you don't want to disappoint them, but also it's accepting that you can also make mistakes in that role that you're in. As I mentioned, I've been a leader ever since I was young, and it's not like it was magic, boom, you're a leader. I had to learn through that process of, there are mistakes, there are challenges, what am I going to do about it, what am I going to do next when it happens. It's a process. And if people who are around you are seeing your leadership qualities, then it means there's something in you that you need to bring out, not only for yourself, for your team, or for the environment, for everyone who is around you. If it's in family, it's in the workplace, it's even in spaces where you're with your friends and your friends pick you, they say, we want you to do this. There's something they've seen in you, not something that you've decided it's you by yourself. So it's for you to take up a challenge and just accept that you're supposed to do something about it.
Amazing. Would you have, probably a word of advice, probably to someone who is watching? Probably there's a girl who is watching and saying, I also want to be a CEO one day. Or I want to, or there's a young boy who is watching and saying, I also want to be a CEO, I want to be this and this. What is that you would tell them right at their young age?
Do things afraid. Do not let fear stop you to becoming the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Try it. You'd rather fail and say you tried it rather than not trying it at all. Yeah. And put God first in everything.
Yeah. So do things without fear and put God first.
Yes.
That is also my part in short. Thank you so much, man, for listening to this show from when you were beginning. Thank you so much for taking your time. Also, thank you so much, Kate, for availing yourself. Tumeshukuru sana. And to our viewers, thank you so much. Until next time, bye.
Bye.